My beloved child, today I remind you that you are my treasure and I have written your name on my heart. You are not forgotten. You are not alone. You are not without purpose. I am the breath in your lungs and the light in your path. When the night feels heavy, I place stars above you to remind you of my promises. When the morning comes, I dress the sky with colors to show you my hope. When you walk through the valley, I hold your hand when you climb the mountain. I give you strength when you cry. I collect your tears when you laugh. I rejoice with you when you doubt. I whisper truth when you fear. I cover you with peace. When you feel small, I remind you that you are my masterpiece. When you feel weak, I clothe you with my power. When the world rejects you, I embrace you with eternal love. When storms rise, I speak calm when darkness presses. I shine within you when doors close. I prepare a better way when people hurt you. I heal your heart when you are weary. I lift you up when you pray. I listen closely when you fall. I pick you up when you are lost. I come searching when you are broken. I make you whole when you wonder about tomorrow. I assure you, I already stand there when you think you have no value. I show you the cross when you think you have no strength. I breathe new life in you when you see chaos around you. I give you inner stillness when you face battles. I fight for you. When you think you cannot continue, I carry you forward when guilt chains you. I give you mercy when shame surrounds you. I clothe you with grace when others judge you. I cover you with compassion when you hunger for love. I pour out my presence when you thirst for peace. I lead you to living water when you are restless. I sing over you with gentleness when you forget your worth. I remind you that heaven celebrates you when you feel unseen. I whisper, I see you when you feel unheard. I tell you, I know your heart when you walk in shadows. I shine my lamp before you when you stand in confusion. I guide your steps when the burden is heavy. I give you rest when you need comfort. I send my spirit to hold you when you face loss. I promise eternal joy when you think the story is over. I begin a new chapter when you look at your scars. I show you my healing when you look at your failures. I show you my forgiveness when you feel trapped. I unlock your freedom when you feel hopeless. I remind you of eternity when you are anxious. I quiet your mind when you are angry. I soften your heart when you are bitter. I give you sweetness when you are jealous. I remind you of your unique design when you are lonely. I wrap you in my presence when you cannot pray. I intercede for you when you feel empty. I fill you with my spirit when you feel distant. I draw you closer when you are tested. I make you stronger. When you are afraid, I declare you are safe when you are tired. I become your energy when you stumble. I steady your steps when you question your identity. I call you mine when you fear the future. I remind you. I hold it when you cannot see the way. I open the door when you need wisdom. I speak clarity when you need strength. I am your refuge when you need joy. I give you fullness when you face trials. I bring victory when you are wounded. I bind your heart when you are sick. I bring healing when you doubt your worth. I show you my cross when you are covered in darkness. I crown you with light when you think you are nothing. I call you chosen when you think you are unloved. I surround you with eternal affection when you think you are weak. I declare you are strong when you think you are broken. I call you whole when you think you are lost. I show you the way when you think you are forgotten. I sing your name in heaven. When you think you are useless, I remind you of your calling. When you think you are failing, I remind you my grace is enough. When you think you are falling apart, I hold you together when you feel overwhelmed. I whisper peace when you feel unworthy. I declare you worthy when you feel abandoned. I remind you, I am with you always when you feel